Today we're looking at differentiating between perimeter, area, and volume. And since this is a review of several activities we've done already this year, there isn't an SBI to copy down. So take a look at the worksheet that you have. And you'll notice up at the top, it asks you to define in your own words the difference between area, perimeter, and volume. So go ahead and pause the video here, write those down, and then when you're ready to continue, hit play. As we continue here looking at area, perimeter, and volume, the first question is, what are they? So, what is perimeter? Perimeter is the distance around an object. We determine the perimeter of a polygon by adding the length of its sides. So the perimeter of this polygon here, the pentagon, is 7, because it's 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2. So 7 units. Area is the number of square units needed to cover a surface. We will determine the area of a rectangular square by doing length times width. We determine the area of a triangle by doing 1/2 of the base times the height, or base times height divided by 2. So the area of the shape below is 12. What is volume? Volume is the measure of capacity. We determine the volume by doing the length times the width times the height. So the volume of the shape below is 12 because it has a length of 3, a height of 2, and a width of 2. So 2 times 2 times 3 is 12. Your task. So right here is where we start on the decide whether you'd find area, perimeter, or volume for each scenario. We're going to walk through each of these scenarios, and as we go, you need to record the answer on your sheet. So if I wanted to know how much lace would go around a pillow, I would need to know the area, perimeter, or volume. In this case, it is the perimeter, because we want around the edge. For water in our bathtub, we would need to find the volume. For the wallpaper on our wall, if we're covering up the wall, we need to know the area of the wall. For the size of your head for our hats, we're going to measure around the outside of our head. In that case, we need to know the perimeter. The amount of cereal inside a cereal box. Okay, we need to know the volume, how much cereal is contained in it. For the amount of water in our fish tank, again, this is going to be volume because we need to fill up the space inside. We need to find the capacity. For a fence around our yard, if we're moving a fence around the outside of our yard, putting it in there, we're going to need to know the perimeter of our yard. The amount of sand in a sandbox. Again, this is going to be volume because we need to find out how much the sandbox can hold. The size of a carpet. If we need to know how much space a carpet is going to take up on the floor, we need to know the area of a carpet. For juice in a glass, we need to know the volume, how much we can fit in the glass, its capacity. The size of your waist for your pants. Again, you're going to be measuring around the outside of your waist, so in this case, it is perimeter. The size of a picture frame. We need to figure out how big it is, how big a picture we can fit in it. In this case, it's going to be area because we need to know how much space it takes up. The tile for our shower, again, just like the wallpaper example, in this case we're covering the wall, so we need to know the area of the wall so we know how much tile to buy to put up there. All right, on the next section of your worksheet, we have the work it out. So Tommy and his dad are building a fence around their yard. Before they go to the store to purchase the materials, Tommy says they should figure out the perimeter of the yard first. His dad says they should figure out the area of the yard. Who do you agree with and why? So take a minute, write down your answer, and make sure you explain why you agree with either Tommy or his dad. So, if you wrote down that you agree with Tommy, you are correct. They need to find the perimeter of their yard so they know how long the fence will be, so they know how much to purchase. Our second example here, Lucy is having Coke with her lunch. She wants to pour her Coke from the can to a glass. She's worried that her glass might be too small to hold all the Coke from the can. What would be helpful to know before she pours her Coke into the glass? So take a moment, write down your answer, make sure you explain why you picked that as your answer. So if you selected that Lucy needs to know the volume of her glass, you are correct. She needs to know how much soda it can hold before she pours it in so it doesn't spill over the edge. Once you've completed your worksheet, make sure you glue it into your math notebook so it is there as a reference for you.